Yo, what's up, Sam? How you doing?
What's going on, dude?
How you doing?
Let me move my mic
Dude,
around. Maybe that will help.
dude, it's all good. How's it's hot out there?
It's like, you know what? It's kind of like Bay Area weather right now.
Really?
It's
And
55 in the morning, and then it's 90 in the
um,
middle of the day.
dude, 90's hot to me. Like,
Yeah,
I was thinking to myself, anything in the Bay Area, like, for me, because I live on, SF, Daly City, South City side,
you're on the coastline,
and
bro. You get that
uh,
fog every day.
um,
Get that rice cooker fog every day.
oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Funny guy, funny guy. What you call it? Anything past 70 to me is hot.
It's funny because I've acclimated towards the weather here. So if it's 80, I'm like, oh, I need to put on a t-shirt. And
Oh
it's
my
like
gosh.
like if it's like 80, 85, I'm fine.
Dude, if it's 80, I am done.
You're
I don't even
dripping.
want to go
Yeah,
outside.
you're like
I'm dripping. I'm sweating so much.
global warming is real.
Dude, yeah, how are you feeling cuz you just did a show? How are you feeling like right now cuz you're like week you're 1 week post show. Are you like how are you mentally? How are you
Oh, if it,
feeling with your workouts?
it's like the best feeling ever. After
That's
you've
good.
get after you gotten food in and everything. And it's funny because it's like I have so much more energy now just from increasing my food to where I I've continued cardio. Like I did 45 minutes of cardio today just because I felt like I could do it. And I was like, if I feel like I could do it, I might as well just do it, where it's like, don't
That's
be
good that
lazy.
so so you didn't just stop everything. You kept up with
No,
the whole.
if
See,
anything,
that's what that.
if anything, I ramped it up a little bit. Like training I'm a little bit weaker, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that'll pick up in the next 3 weeks. My strength will come back in the next 3 weeks, but I feel the pumps are amazing because of the food, and just way more energy, more mental clarity. Like I'm
That's
thinking
good.
faster. I'm sweating a
That
lot
sounds
more.
amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sweating a
That
lot
sounds
more,
amazing.
which means my body's responding really good. I'm still very vascular. Like I still have veins in my thighs and everything. So I know I'm not overly getting fat, but it's like with I do 3 off days a week from training. And then those 3 off days, I do straight keto. But with those days, that's where it's very high fat, but I cut out all my carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
And with those days, I'll just do eggs, ground beef, Greek yogurt, just a lot of red meat to get in some micronutrients. But then my training
That's cool.
days, very high carbohydrates, so it
Carb.
could benefit my workout.
Yeah. So you're utilizing the carbs.
Yeah,
I get it. Um, that's good. It's always good to, you know, it's always a good feeling to get food back into your body
yeah.
after being depleted for so long. Um, but I feel like a big issue people make is they just stop everything after a show,
Yeah,
completely done. Like they'll stop cardio, they'll stop working out, they'll eat whatever. There's no structure anymore. Uh, I feel like the best way to do it is weed off of it a little bit. You know, like
yeah.
still continue what you were doing, but slowly, increase the food,
Yeah,
slowly decrease the cardio, right?
I
Just like how you were at the beginning.
I think weight monitoring in the morning too. I feel like people don't weigh themselves after a show, and then so I've been weighing myself every day and seeing how, like the day after the show. No, I'm sorry, not the day after the show. Monday I was 210, and so I acknowledged that, and I was like, okay, I need to slow down on what I'm doing as far as food. So I cut back food Monday, and then Tuesday I was 208, and then Wednesday I was 206, and then this morning I was 204.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
getting rid
So
of a
you're
lot of water weight
Oh, the
But
weight, yeah.
also increasing that water, like doing 2 gallons a day helps me not be hungry, helps keep water off,
Yeah, yeah.
keeps the
Yeah,
workouts
that's
better and stuff. So
you're still it's good that you're still in that tunnel vision,
yeah.
kind of, right?
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
people people lose it
if
after a
anything,
show.
that comp, all that comp did was motivate me to go
That's
back on
good.
stage next year because I didn't think I was gonna do that good. To be honest, I was like,
It's
dude, I
hilarious because
yeah,
last week I remember you vividly saying, "I'm never doing this again."
yeah, I
You said, "I'm never gonna do this show again. I'm never
know,
doing this show. I hate my life right now."
yeah,
So seeing how you're feeling and looking right now,
I
and what you're
know,
saying is total opposite. So if you ever compete and you're like 1 week out, never listen to yourself
yeah,
because
you
you're gonna be a
can't,
totally different person a
you
week
can't,
after. But
you
let me
can't.
ask you this, dude. How did you get into your whole fitness journey, your whole competing, lifestyle, whatever it may be? Because I know, how you were as a kid, how you looked, how you felt, but not many people do. So like, how did, you being active, how did that all start for you?
Um, well, it was like I was always active as a kid, like even in, even in like elementary school, junior high. I was doing
Mm-hmm.
karate. Like I got my brown belt in karate, and then after that, it was like baseball all the way. Playing baseball in high
Yeah.
school. That's being around my friends. That's all I wanted to do. And then uh, after that, it was like went to college, and then I got what's it called? The freshman 15. Freshman
What's a
15.
freshman 15?
Freshman 15 is like your freshman year of college, and you gain 15 pounds from partying.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's a
That's a
saying I
thing.
heard, and I was like, man, this is real because I gained a lot of weight just from drinking so much alcohol.
Oh
And
gosh.
then
Were you
after
being
that,
active at that moment, at that time?
no, I wasn't doing anything, and that was the
Okay.
problem. I was just partying, and then joined a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu team where my coach was also a certified CrossFit trainer. So I was doing CrossFit in the morning, like learning deadlifts, cleans, all that. And then he went and joined a team in Switzerland or Finland, somewhere in Europe. And so it left me without an outlet. And then that's when I came to you and then discovered bodybuilding. And then you put me on a diet plan because I was like, dude, I need to lose weight. Like I've always been fat, chubby. And so you put me on a diet plan, and I had no idea what I was doing. Like I was, I was just eating chicken out of a bag. I had no idea what I was doing. And then,
So you're so lazy.
yeah, but you put like chicken and rice in my diet, and I was like, and I didn't know how to make rice, so I just ate chicken all day. This is literally all I ate. It was just
I cannot.
chicken, and then I lost hella weight
How do you
because
not
that's
know how
all
to
I
make
was eating.
rice?
Huh?
How do you not know how to make rice?
At the time, I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to cook or anything like that. I was a single guy living at home in my apartment, and I was like, I don't know how to make any of this.
That's what's up though. Like you came a long way. But so after that, I know you ended up doing your first show and then you got hooked.
Yeah, because you were like, because you one day you were like, send me pictures, and I just sent you pictures with my shirt off, and you're like, holy crap, you have abs, and I was like, yeah, I do, and then you're like, let's do a show,
Was
and I
that
was
was
like,
that the first time? Was that the first time you ever seen your abs?
yeah, 100%. I didn't even know I could have like a 2 pack, 4 pack. You know, I fell into the fallacy of I can never have this. There's something wrong with me. But the reality of it was I just, I guess I couldn't control my eating. You know.
Yeah, funny thing you said that though, because I remember vividly about a picture you took in Hercules. It was like you under the light and you had your
Oh,
abs.
at Hercules Fitness.
at Hercules Fitness. I
Yeah.
remember it vividly, and I was like, "Dang, I've never seen you like that in my life." So I think
Yeah.
that's why I always tell people like, you know, when people say, "Oh, reaching for abs," or if that's your goal, it's super overrated, things like that. But like some people has never seen abs before. You know what I mean? And it is possible to see abs. And I think if we just help people manage their expectations, like, hey, you know what, it's not sustainable, like long term,
Yeah.
like, but if that's a goal of yours to at least see your abs once in your life, that's totally fine. But I think helping people like understand, like, hey, it's not the most sustainable thing. It's not everything. It is not the answer to all your problems, right? But especially your insecurity problems. I always tell people, if you try to get abs because you're insecure, you'll end up being a guy or somebody with abs that's insecure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah.
So just helping people manage expectations is huge. But if you value a goal of seeing abs, that's where it's at. I mean, do it because that just helps. Not even like with self confidence, but with like being able just being able to do something. You know,
Yeah. I
so
tell
that's huge.
I tell people that it's pretty much exactly that. I'm like, why don't you just try it once? Like, just try
Hmm.
it once. And even the process, when it gets really, really hard, it's worth it sometimes because people, they learn what it's like to have abs. They learn the journey it takes to get there.
Yeah.
And then they can make a decision where they're like, man, this is really hard. Like, I don't want to do this, and then they kind of understand how difficult it is, and they could appreciate other people a little bit more, and and when they do it, it's like me where I can't blame things on excuses where it's like, oh, it's my
Yeah.
genetics or it's just me,
Oh, for sure.
or they
Yeah.
can't make that blame. So
Yeah. And yeah, I think people just need to help people manage their expectations. And I feel like that's one of the most powerful thing you could do for people is like, hey, this is what's gonna happen. This is how you're probably gonna feel. This is, what's,
yeah,
moving forward. This is what you're gonna need to do. Because this is why, this is why having a coach or a mentor actually helps a lot because they help you manage through those emotions, right?
yeah.
So, how did you get into, since we're talking about coaching mentor, how did you get into coaching and helping people? Because you helped a lot of people. Like you're seeing where you've, when you first started to where you're at now, like it's pretty dope to see how many people you've helped along the way too.
Um, I was, I think it was you. You brought me in and you were like, hey, dude, like you could do this. You kind of gave me that initial push into starting everything. And then I was kind of like, I don't know how to like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I'm not a good salesman. I'm not a good, you know, uh, I just, I don't know if I thought that I could do it. And, um, you pushed me into it and then I fell for it. I fell for your damn gimmick. And then,
It was not a gimmick. Look where you're at now.
and then I guess I just continued with it, and you taught me a lot of stuff in the beginning as far as like pricing, keeping clients, getting clients. I think that was like the most important thing was getting and keeping clients and pricing yourself very smart. And then after, I would say after like 6 months or maybe even a year of like personal training, um, I was like, I have to be smarter because I really love nutrition. I didn't like the training aspect of it. Like, I didn't like being
Mm-hmm.
there and counting reps for people. Like, it was not
Mm.
enjoyable. The connections I made with people were awesome. Like, I love talking to people,
Yeah,
but I don't
for
want to
sure.
sit there and count reps, you know?
We
I
probably had more conversations than we did counting reps, though, for being honest with
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, and then
which was better.
it was because you make connections, and then
Yeah.
as a trainer, people pay you to be your friend. Um, no, and it's that's more important sometimes, you know, for somebody
For
to
sure.
have you, to rely on you, to motivate you. You know, even if we are having a conversation, at least they're getting a little bit of exercise in their day, and uh, you
No,
know,
the
it's
cool
like,
thing is you get to hear real life problems as far as like nutrition and training, like their how they view things. Like that's why the conversations are so powerful,
yeah,
right? Because it helps us understand things better as a coach. But
yes,
go ahead, keep going.
correct. Um, and like I said, I just didn't like sitting there counting reps, and so, and I just really love nutrition. Like I couldn't get enough of it, and then I finally felt like it just clicked, because it's like, how many things have I done in my life? Like how many jobs have I had, you know, and stuff. But nutrition just fascinated me where I couldn't get enough of it. And then I was like, um, that's when I was like, I have to go to school. So uh, I re-enrolled in college, and then I majored in nutritional science, where it just blew my mind, like how little I knew. And I still don't know everything. I'm not the smartest guy,
Hmm.
but I know way more than the average person, which allows me to help them and guide them. And it's more of like, now my job is teaching people not to be afraid of things. You know, how people are so afraid of uh, 0 calorie, like drinks or syrups or stuff like that. Like it causes cancer, and you know, all of this studying I've done, and I have to keep up with new science and stuff like that to make my debate stronger. But it's just teaching people about food, and not to be scared of things, and not to crash diet, not to yo-yo diet, not to go on fad
Hmm.
diets, and to keep things
Hmm.
just simple. And
Exactly.
every day I'm texting a client saying it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, things aren't going to happen as fast as you'd like them to, but they will happen. And, you know, when you're coaching people, it's especially severely obese people. I have to make a case where I'm like, hey, how, you know, I try to put things in perspective for them, where I'm like, hey, how long did it take you to get to 350 pounds? And they're like, oh, it was like 10 years or 12 years or something. And I'm like, okay, well, don't expect 250 pounds to come off in 6 months. You know, like, let's be realistic with our goals, and let's just set a weekly goal, and let's just do that. You know, let's keep it simple, and getting people to understand simple things, and to relax, and, you know, and to just count calories. You know, but they want to go on fad diets and see the special things, and they people want the shortcuts and the magic pills, and that's not reality.
For sure. Exactly. Well, I always tell people this is people under or people overestimate what they can do in the like they overestimate what they can do in the short term, and they underestimate what they can do in the long term. So they definitely think about, oh, I can lose X amount of weight super fast within 12 weeks, right? But if they keep up with these good habits and these good behaviors over time, they're actually going to be able to see better results, you know?
Yes,
So, exactly. So,
you're right. It
let me ask you
it
this though.
depends. It depends on.
Well,
I would say it depends on, like, the client too. You know, like, I don't know, in
mm-hmm.
your case, do you find more like people that are really heavy, like very obese? Do you find them easier to coach than skinny people, lean people?
Oh my gosh, that's a tough one because I've worked with so like different. It all comes down to the individual for me.
I'm talking, yeah,
Like,
but as far as like the mindset, I'm not talking about like actual goal, weight obtaining, like mindset. Because I find people who are on the obese side very easier to grasp things, understand things, and be realistic. And then people that are like
yeah,
if you have like a female that's already lean, like 125, and she's like, I need to lose weight, and I'm like, yo, you gotta understand you gotta understand like timing, and the leaner you get, the slower the weight comes off, and so
so you're thinking you're asking from like a mindset perspective.
yeah, like who's easier to coach mentally
Okay.
from your clients?
Oh man, I get a mix, man.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are, um, you know, a lot of people aren't as coachable, and that I think
Mm.
that's the big thing is as long as you're coachable, you're gonna be. And I get that from different types of people. It comes down to personality, and what I've learned to do is match how I speak, match how I create a plan off of someone's motivation and personality. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.